You straight up cuckooed that dude, bro. Oh my God.
You've got all your Charger gear on because
I look good. I got big energy every day. Let's go!
And he is dicked.
Blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
That's right.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin
Herbert on the move and throws and touchdown.
Players, coaches, staff, fans, together we can create something truly special.
Stay tuned for some good content.
Well, where did the time go, everybody? Welcome back to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, Wolldog, sitting with my buddies, Kev, Hug, and Duggan.
Guten Morgen.
And Cal, the coach, Duggan.
I just looked at myself in the screen. My eyes are not open. My eyes, they're like, I already have.
You gotta rub them sleepies out.
Yeah, I already have very small eyes. Anyways, when I smile, they disappear anyways. But right now, they're just permanently closed.
Good morning, guys. How we doing? All right.
I am really excited about this game, though, guys. Don't look in my eyes. Just look away.
Yeah, it is a short week, folks. As we mentioned, we wanted to get an episode out to you guys as quickly as possible, so we're doing this Wednesday morning. There still might be some news that pops out between now and when we get this posted, but we still want to talk about everything coming up because it is a hell of a game that's coming up right now, Thursday. It's all we can think about right now. It's just like, oh my God, it's gonna happen. It's Thursday.
Like,
we're going up
smart.
against.
We're in the game.
Yeah. So it's there's still lots to talk about here, folks. Starting it off, just as a friendly reminder, the Chargers have a 467-11 record in the franchise history leading into tonight's game against the Kansas City Chiefs. So we are
Perfect
totally
500.
Yeah.
Is that,
minus
is that
those
real?
11 ties.
Yeah, that is 467, 467, and 11.
How is that possible? That's so many games.
Well, Chargers have been around for a long time, my
50
friend.
plus years.
Jeez.
Yeah.
All right. We have 11 ties. That's a weird stat.
That's a lot. Yeah, it seems like a lot.
But it seems like a good, this seems like a good game to go over 500 on the franchise history.
Franchise going over 500. Come on.
That would be pretty wild. So we are going into this with some high hopes, obviously. The Chargers record against the Chiefs, however, is 57-64 and one tie all time against the Chiefs.
Okay. When I first saw the 467-11, I thought you meant that was against the Chiefs only. And I was like,
we played over 900 games,
guys. Yeah. Okay. All right. This makes more sense. All right.
There you go. At all time.
Waking
all
up.
the
total
time.
football games.
Waking up. Here we go.
Here we go. Take two.
Yep.
All right. And then the two quarterbacks, the two leaders of both teams, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, have faced each other twice. In the span of those games, Herbert has thrown for 592 yards passing. He is 48 of 71 for a 67% completion rate, 5 passing touchdowns and 1 interception. Versus Mahomes, 562 passing yards. He is 54 of 91 for 59% completion percentage, 5 passing touchdowns as well, and 2 interceptions. So
pretty identical numbers.
Yeah, they're
pretty neck and neck. He's
pretty
thrown
neck and neck.
20 more times in their matchups, but so that's they're going to be battling each other for
forever,
the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
And when I looked at the numbers, I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's knock that interception up to 4. I think that'd be good to have after Friday morning. 4 interceptions, that'd be fantastic for Mahomes.
Yeah, those 2 interceptions, those were both in the game earlier this season, right? I don't think we got any interceptions on that first interaction.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
and
then the 1 interception for Herbert was his first start of all, first
right.
The rookie mistake.
Rookie. Oh, boy.
It's just a rookie.
He's going to grow into it, guys. He's going to get better. Don't worry
believe
about it.
When I see it. When I believe it.
And then today, Wednesday, on Good Morning Football, Kevin Malone, a.k.a. Kevin from The Office, apparently was on Good Morning Football and had a great take. Let's have a listen. Let's see what he had to say.
You talk about their defense over the last 10.8 points over the last 6 weeks. Let us remind ourselves they played the Raiders twice. They played the Packers with Jordan Love. They played the Giants.
Okay.
Right? Whereas, meanwhile, the Chargers have been putting up the last 6 games 32 points a game. They laid 30 on them in week 3. I think Herbert and Eckler, hopefully Eckler, I was not fully aware about his ankle. Hopefully he's fine. But they have just been so explosive. Reminds me of another team in the NFC that has that powerful running game to go with a strong-armed quarterback that can make any kind of throw. I like the Chargers to put it on the Chiefs this week at home and become legitimate contenders in the AFC. That's my bold take. Let's go.
I think it's time to go watch The Office. I'm loving Kevin right now. Great name.
Get this guy, replace Dan Orlovsky. He had like a real take with real facts.
Yes.
Legit.
It sounds like he watched tape.
Tape don't lie.
Sure.
Dunder Mifflin, they watch tape. Yeah, what a great perspective and a reminder on how these guys are doing. Yeah, Chargers are topping some of those stats right now as far as like points we're putting up, yards, passing yards and everything like that. So it's pretty cool to see.
Hey, and Kevin got his media, his Herbert Chargers media finally.
Well, there you go. Yeah, and it came from The Office. Kevin, are you happy now?
Finally.
Yeah.
It only took till Wednesday.
Took an extra day, but hey.
I'll take it.
We got there.
Beggars can't be choosers.
And another thing, Orlovsky, while we're on it,
Oh.
he made another tweet about how all the comparisons,
digging a hole even deeper.
There were a couple really big throws that week as well. He's like, Herbert's isn't as good. He's not better than these other throws. And like, aren't you a quarterback? Don't you understand what it's like to roll out and throw versus standing, getting a jump step and throwing it? Like, dude, you suck. Like, you legitimately suck, Orlovsky.
Yeah, he's just stuck in a whirlwind now. He's in too deep. He can't back out.
Wow.
He just got to go all in and pray to the heavens that somehow Joe Burrow turns into Tom Brady.
He's just digging, dude. I think he's going to get to China. It's just there's only one way to go.
All right. Well, yeah. While Orlovsky's on his way to another country, we have to talk about yet another accolade to hand out. This popped up just this morning as we were getting ready. AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Guess who, Kev?
Third time this year.
Justin Herbert?
More than any other player in the NFL. Justin Herbert, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. Congratulations, sir.
Hercules.
Couldn't happen to a better kid.
Love them.
And we don't have, normally on these Thursday episodes, we have, or Friday, I should say, normally on our Friday episodes, we know who is the FedEx Air Player of the Week. We don't know that just quite yet because it's a little too early. So it's a reminder, folks, keep voting. He's up against stiff competition. Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, two quarterbacks that have been in this. Yeah, they're real juggernauts. So if we want any chance for Justin Herbert to win, you got to keep voting. Kevin squeezed in 80 votes while we were getting ready to record this podcast. I probably squeezed in another 50. So it's possible, folks. Take a couple minutes.
Come on, man. Beat those old dicks. You got this.
Beat those old dicks. Let's move on over to Twitter. Let's start it off with Fernando Ramirez, who tweeted out Chargers offensive coordinator Joe Lombardi says that Trey Pipkins lined up at left tackle during practice. I think he will be ready to go. He said.
All right. I've had a minute to think about this. I can't hate on. I'm gonna give 2-day period where I'm going to be fully behind Trey Pipkins, and I'll say his name properly now. I'm not going to say Pumpkins. I'm not.
Yeah,
he's our
starting left tackle. We can't call him a pumpkin.
He's no longer Poopkins. He's Trey Pipkins, and I need him to be the best he can be tomorrow if he has to play. So we're all behind you. Totally redeem yourself and play a average game, please. That's all we're looking for. Yes. Please. For the love of God.
This is his opportunity to try to get some redemption. If he can hold his own this Thursday against a very formidable team, then it's an opportunity for him to get his full name back, Trey Pipkins. I can't believe how many nicknames we've come up for this guy.
Poopkins is pretty funny.
Poopkins is a good one. But
Yeah.
not this week, not these next couple days. For the
he's
time being,
Pipkins.
he is
I was-
Pipkins,
Yeah.
and we support you, buddy.
I was also thinking about it, right? Last year, we had no O-line, and we went toe-to-toe with this same exact team. So,
Mhm.
yeah, it's going to be harder. Yeah, our offense has to shift and adjust a little bit, but that's why we love football. It's the ultimate team game. It's
Who
not
was our
one
left tackle
person.
last year now? I'm having a hard time thinking
Sam
of a name.
Tebby.
Sam Tebby.
Oh, Tebby,
But
right,
Pipkins
yeah.
played a lot too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so I mean, it's just it sucks. No one wants to see it. We all want Rashawn Slater out there, but I think it gives us an opportunity to see what the guy has going into. Are you going to get cut here in a couple weeks?
Right. Yeah, looking over at the injury report, it's kind of question marks right now because all the guys that are listed on there are limited in practice. Kevin did the research. Apparently, the first practice on Monday, everybody was just kind of guessing because there really wasn't a practice. But, anybody that had some kind of injury needed to at least be on the list. And then Tuesday was just a walkthrough. So, again, nobody really knows the full
definition of limited.
Right. Everybody got limited, which is good. I mean, at least there wasn't any did not practice on there. But again, we don't really know. Some of these guys might be practicing in full still. But seeing like names like Asante Samuel Jr. on there getting his limited reps in, if we can come out in this game with everybody else healthy but Rashawn Slater, God, there's a good chance, man. There's still a good chance. So, and the Chiefs are also dealing with their own COVID issues. Defensive end Chris Jones was put on the COVID list Tuesday. And per Nate Taylor, Andy Reid said Chris Jones is in the NFL's COVID-19 protocol. And L'Jarius Sneed, returning to Kansas City, will also not be practicing. He did not practice on their end.
That's so huge.
Yeah.
If Chris Jones is one of the better D ends in the league, and he hasn't had the most productive year, but I think since they got Melvin Ingram over there, he's been even better. So him not playing is kind of like the football gods being like, all right,
Leveling the playing field a little bit.
the playing field, because those two would have gone head to head a lot. So they would have had some reps. So it's 8-pound.
There's some hope.
Baby Jesus. Thank you. 8 pounds, 7 ounce baby Jesus.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So hopefully he's okay. I don't want to make light of it. Hopefully he's okay.
Right.
But there's looking like he probably won't play.
Right.
Yeah. And Josh Gordon as well. If you guys don't remember, they picked up Josh Gordon there right before the free agency kind of ended. And he's on the COVID list as well. He was just kind of starting to come into his own on the team. He scored last week. He scored a touchdown last week. And now he likely will be shut down as well for the week. So they missed I know he's not their whole offense, but it is an element now that you don't have to necessarily prepare for.
Yeah. And he wasn't on the team when we played him last time. So that's just another wrinkle that we don't necessarily need or want to face.
No, don't even have to consider it. And then lastly on Twitter, Field Yates tweeted out Chargers wide receiver Keenan Allen has been activated from the reserve COVID-19 list, putting him on track to play Thursday against the Chiefs. So,
hallelujah.
Yeah, that obviously big piece to get back on the offense. Just give Herbert one more target and gives us an opportunity to play again with just about a completely healthy team outside of Rashawn Slater.
We need to get Derwin. I want to hear good news about Derwin.
Right.
I want to hear good news about Asante Samuel. Those are the two I really want to hear good news about in the next day.
Absolutely. So them all getting limited reps in is a step in the right direction. And if we can start to see some fulls later today, that would be a good sign. All right, gang, and now it's time to talk about our sponsor this week, Symbol. Symbol is the stock market for sports that allows you to profit off your sports knowledge. On Symbol, you can trade sports teams like stocks, and every time your teams win, you earn cash. Use your sports knowledge on Symbol to buy low, sell high, and earn cash payouts when your teams win. Join over 7,000 early adopters who have started to invest in their favorite teams. Visit www.symbol.com. That's SIMBULL.com to create a free account. And when you deposit, make sure to use the promo code ChargerChat, all one word, for a money-back guarantee. And you can also visit symbol.app/ChargerChat, all one word. And again, using the promo code ChargerChat, your deposit will have a money-back guarantee up to $500. That means even if you lose money in the first 90 days, Symbol will refund your initial deposit, no questions asked. Join Symbol and start investing and profiting from your favorite teams. All right. Well, as we've mentioned since the beginning of this episode, the opponent this week, Thursday night against the Chiefs. The Chiefs are currently, not indefinitely, currently sitting at the top of the AFC West with a 9-4 win-loss ratio. Chargers are just behind them with 8-5. Looking at the teams that the Chiefs have played this season, they barely beat the Browns on their first opening game, and then lost to the Ravens. Again, barely. That was such a close game. But then Chargers came to town in Kansas City and
bad baby
spanked them and surprised the world that when we won.
Gonna need a binding resolution.
Let's see. Then they definitely beat the Eagles, lost to the Bills, beat Washington pretty handedly. Titans killed them. That was such a
smash.
Oh, that was such a tasty game to watch.
And that was the last loss. That was the last loss they had. It was October 24th. Since then, they've gone on a 6-game tear.
Wow. Yeah. So,
but like our boy Kev said, Kev from The Office, they barely beat the Giants 2017, and look what we just did to the Giants.
I think,
yeah. Barely beat the Packers, who didn't have Aaron Rodgers.
Right. Yeah.
You heard the clip, but I think there's something there.
Yeah, I think you look at like quality of wins, right? I think the last 6 games they beat the teams they should beat, which is a mark of a good team. You like we did last week against the Giants. You have to beat the teams you should beat. But their schedule was very top heavy. Like it was loaded up in the front, and they weren't able to get it done against those good teams, against the Ravens, against the Bills, against the Titans, against us. They lucked out with the Packers not having Aaron Rodgers because they just couldn't score points. But the Chiefs only put up 13 against a Packers team that did not have Aaron Rodgers, so you didn't even possess the ball very much.
You got to look at too also like the points. Like the only reason, if you look at these Raider games, this is like the odd man
outliers.
Yeah, this is because they scored 48 and 41 against the Raiders.
Because
then other than that, they never scored more than 22.
Gus stays in the one high safety against Patrick Mahomes, and it's impossible to stop the man. You can't do it.
Dumb.
But every other team you can see has kept them under 30 points. Because they're trying to be more limit the big play and force them to drive down the field. Now, I am not looking at this saying that the Chiefs aren't good. The Chiefs are good.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just pointing it out.
But I don't think they're this unstoppable force that everyone is claiming them to be and putting them number 1 in the NFL power rankings. I don't think that's this team. They're good, but they're not as good as they've been in the past. That doesn't mean they won't come in. And I think that's the hardest part about having the Chiefs in our division. Even if they sucked and we were really good, it's going to be a tight game. There's no way around it. Always. Anytime you play a divisional opponent, it's going to be close. So I just think I think we are that quality win that they need too. Like, we need to beat them to take over the AFC West, the top of it, but they need to beat us to have a good W on their schedule.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There's definitely something to be said for like the quality of wins and like what they've done points wise. But I think the thing with Charger fans is we've had so many years of, oh shit, it's Chief week. You know what I mean? Especially since Mahomes has arrived. Like back in those Alex Smith years, it was still that we were back and forth with them. But then as soon as Mahomes showed up until recently when our boy showed up, it's always been in our minds as Charger fans, you circle a Kansas City game and it's like, yeah, we're probably going to lose that one. That's just been the mindset. And I think what Staley is helping us do is come to terms with that's not always, might not be the case moving forward. Like we have a legitimate shot every time we play this team to win. And I think we definitely can win this game Thursday.
Yeah, we're short a couple pieces, but and those are big pieces. It's like going into chess and you don't have your queen on the board. It's like, whoa, that was a big piece. What happened to my queen? But if everybody else remains healthy, there's still a full team here that can do some damage, and especially on defense. If we can get Derwin James healthy, if he's healthy out there, if Asante Samuel is healthy out there, that's a solid defense that can really do some damage against Patrick Mahomes, like we saw in week 3. Like, I mean, our defense got 4 turnovers, I think, against the Chiefs in week 3. Like, that's massive. I couldn't recall the last time we had 4 turnovers in any game outside the Chiefs this, prior to this season. So there's a lot of hope to be had for sure.
I'll take some more of those rooks, knights, and bishops all day long.
There you go. Yeah, just
line them up.
Take a queen out, throw some extra players in there, throw a checkers piece in there. I don't care. Throw a Luke
Jump
Skywalker, action figure on there. I don't care.
Board game talk.
Love
Maybe
it.
a new podcast, guys. Board game talk.
Board game talk with the Charger Chat podcast. All right, gang. Well, don't forget to go on over to chargerchat.com. Check out some of the sweet merch that we've got over there. Christmas is coming in hot and heavy. It is December 15th as of today. So if you did want to get something prior to Christmas, I'd recommend getting something ASAP. And definitely check out the member section to chat it up with other Charger Chat members. All right, gang. Well, now it is time to go on to the next segment. It is Bolt History with Mike Modlin. I'm excited to see what this is about. Let's find out.
Remember like it was yesterday. In comes this whirlwind, Don Coryell.
So see the San Diego Chargers and see spectacular professional football at its best.
Into the end zone, Charger fans are witnesses to history!
What's up, Bolt Gang? Your boy Mike Modlin back with another installment of Bolt History. And today we're going to be talking about one of the Chargers legends from the 60s. This gentleman played for the Chargers from the 1964 season to the 1970 season. For the San Diego Chargers of the AFL and, of course, the NFL Chargers as well. He was born in Tuscaloosa, Alabama on August 10th, 1942, and the gentleman we are talking about is Leslie Speedy Duncan. Unfortunately, we lost Leslie last week on Friday, December 10th. There's been no cause of death released yet, but unfortunately, he passed away at the age of 79 last Friday. So we're honoring him today here on Charger Chat. He was, as I said, born in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and then ended up going to college at Jackson State in Jackson, Mississippi. And while Speedy was there, the Chargers scouts came around to actually scout a player named Willie Richardson. So the Chargers scouts were at Jackson State scouting Willie Richardson. And at one point, Willie approached the Chargers scout, a guy named Al Locasell, and told him, you should actually sign Speedy Duncan. That dude can play ball, and you're going to regret it if you don't sign him. That guy can play. And Al came back the next day and signed Speedy to an undrafted rookie free agent contract. He wasn't drafted to the AFL or the NFL, but did make it to the Chargers in the AFL on an undrafted rookie free agent contract. Then once he got to the team, he didn't even make the first 4 strings. He was on the 5th string with one other guy. So basically, he really had no shot of making the team. The only reason that he made it as a starter was because his defensive backs coach, who was at the time Chuck Noll, for any of you older fans, remember Chuck Noll is the legendary head coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Chuck Noll was his defensive backs coach at the time, recognized Speedy's talent, and started moving him up the roster when he could, when and where he could, when guys would get injured or cut. Then Speedy would end up moving up. His first year, his rookie year with the Chargers, he didn't get into very many games. He only got into 5 games, including the preseason games, before he got his jaw broken. I wasn't able to find out through my research how he got his jaw broken. I'm assuming it was during a game, but no idea on that one. But he ended up getting his jaw wired shut, and he credits that to him making the team because they stashed him on what they used to call the practice squad, the taxi squad. So they put him on the taxi squad. Just to make sure that they could still have access to him, bring him up to the team. But again, he had a broken jaw and it was wired shut. And he credits that to him staying on the team and not getting cut. As he was healing up, he began to practice more and more. And he, at one point, his legendary attention to detail includes, like he used to go and catch 70 punts a day as practice to become a better kick and punt returner. And that's what most people remember Speedy for, is the kick and punt returns. But he was also a very, very good cornerback. The season that the Miami Dolphins expansion came about, the starting right cornerback for the Chargers got drafted into the expansion draft for the Miami Dolphins. So that guy was gone, and now they had a gaping hole at right cornerback. So they moved Speedy into the right cornerback position, and he really, really he flourished in that position. So he started playing starting right cornerback. The way you could describe Speedy for those people who are maybe younger, if you remember Devin Hester, he was kind of the 1960s Devin Hester. He ended up having 24 interceptions during his career. 3 of those were returned for touchdowns. In 1967, he had an NFL record at the time, a 100-yard touchdown interception return against the Chiefs. In his second season, he became a full-time starter, and he quickly won over Chargers fans and his teammates alike with his kick and punt returns. He was obviously called Speedy for a reason. He was very, very quick and very shifty. He ended up becoming a household name. Even the Kansas City Chiefs fans knew who he was. It came to the point where kickers and punters would avoid kicking to him because he would just take it to the house. And it got to the point where Speedy had an attitude of, if you were going to kick it to me, you are going to pay for it. And that was kind of his attitude going into things. Some of the stats that Speedy put up during his career: he led the AFL in yards per punt return in 1965 and 1966. He ended up with 5,394 return yards for the Chargers. He had 7 interceptions in the 1966 season. He had 21 interceptions in 77 games as a Charger. He scored 8 touchdowns in 8 seasons as a cornerback. As a cornerback and kick returner. He had 4 punt returns for a touchdown. He had 2 interceptions for a touchdown. He had a fumble recovery for a touchdown, and he had a blocked field goal return for a touchdown. He was an AFL All-Star in 1965, 1966, and 67, and ended up making the Pro Bowl with us in the NFL as well, and then also made the Pro Bowl with the Washington Redskins, whom he played for 4 years after he left the Chargers. He was also a member of the 40th and 50th anniversary teams for the Chargers. He is in the Chargers Ring of Honor, if you remember that from Qualcomm, and you ever looked up and you remember seeing Speedy Duncan's name in the Ring of Honor at Qualcomm. And he is also a member of the Chargers Hall of Fame. One of the coolest things, though, about Leslie Speedy Duncan is that his real middle name is Herbert. And that's it for today's Bolt History. Rest in peace, Speedy Duncan. I never really got to see you play in person. I wish I would have, but he ended up leaving the Chargers the year I was born, so I never got to see him in a Charger uniform. But there are lots of great clips out there on YouTube. If you do want to see some of his return and touchdowns, any of his highlights, he was basically a human highlight reel before there were highlight packages. That's how Dean Spanos had described him. So again, if you want to see more about Speedy Duncan, go check out YouTube. There's some clips of his highlights out there. But rest in peace, Speedy. We will miss you. Okay, love you. Bye.
Wow, Mike. It's
a good one.
That is such good information, because anybody that keeps in touch with Charger social media, occasionally, sadly, we see the rest in peace, that, we sadly lost this player from somebody that played way the hay back in the day,
and
prior
you just
to
don't
any
have
of us
much
being
info
born.
about him. Yeah.
Right. And you're just like, well, I'm obviously sad to lose any Charger, but I don't know who this guy is. I don't know what he brought to the team. So, Mike, for you to take the time and research these guys and give us information, what a hell of a career. Like, holy cow. Like, the numbers this guy put up is insane. And Mike, I think he kind of leaned into my ask as far as what topics you should talk about. For him to be an undrafted free agent and come in and put up some pretty solid numbers, I love to hear it, man. What great success for the Chargers. Yeah.
Also, can we all petition to get Pro Bowl changed to the All-Star game? When we refer to him as an All-Star, it's so much cooler.
It sounds so much better. Yeah.
Than Pro Bowler.
You're a pro
it
bowler?
sounds like a doofus
bowling?
that wears glasses while you're bowling. Yeah.
I'm a pro bowler.
I'm a
two-time
pro bowler.
Strike.
Speedy Duncan, rest in peace, buddy. Mike Modlin is here to keep your story alive, and that is awesome. So hopefully you guys, if you haven't, go back and listen to some of the other previous Bold Histories. Mike Modlin really does take the time to dig in and really just pull out the gems of Chargers history past. So thank you, Mike, for taking a look at the life and history of Speedy Duncan. And breaking news.
So while we were recording this, a tweet came out from Ian Rapoport from Rap Sheet. He says, and this is wild. Okay, this is a wild tweet. Interesting day ahead. The NFL and NFLPA continue to have discussions about the potential changes to the COVID-19 protocols, consulting with medical experts as well. In the words of John Mara, it seems like it's never going away. should be some news today. So
what do you think that means?
Vaccinated, no symptoms, you're playing. Slater's
You think that's what it is?
You think that?
I think there's something about this. Yeah, like that is very specifically aimed. This comes out immediately following like Baker Mayfield and all these other players.
Baker's
basically
on the
most
list
of
now?
the Browns are.
I don't know,
fucked.
dude. I do not see that being the case. I think you test positive, you're out. I don't think they're changing that. They don't want everyone to get it. If you're going to become that organization that's going city to city, taking COVID around knowingly and just infecting everyone. Like that's never going to be the case. I think.
What do you think it is then?
The only thing they could do is expand the rosters a little bit. That's like the only thing I can think of them allowing as something to fight it, because now the Browns are down 9 players this week, and they're playing the Raiders, who now the Raiders get a little layup to think they're still in this thing. But it's like you lose 9 players, you don't even have that many sitting around to be able to fill in. I think the only thing you do is expand the rosters a little bit, or look at the idea of postponing games and pushing back to Tuesdays, something along those lines. But there's no way they're just going to allow positive tests to go play. I just don't.
And it's a good point too, because this isn't good. This is basically the new flu, essentially. Like it's not going anywhere,
right?
So you probably come up with a plan and put it in place where.
Doesn't it make you think? Like I know COVID is very contagious. But doesn't it make you think like how many games these guys probably used to play with the flu or with a cold or with something that never ruled them out, but you don't even know what they're playing through. Now we know if they have COVID in seconds because it's they're ineligible,
testing and tracking and everything. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
No, for sure. It's interesting. I just saw that while we were watching Bolt History. It came up and I was like, what the hell does this mean?
Yeah.
Something to keep an eye on. Obviously, these last season and this season have been just inflicted with COVID issues, whether it's players sitting out. Players just completely sitting out all season last year. And this year, players having to sit out, or just because they sat next to somebody that had COVID. So it will be interesting to see. Everybody keep an eye on it. But we are now going into the Kansas City game this Thursday. Any final thoughts, gentlemen?
I'm excited as shit. I cannot wait. Pig and shit, ready to rock.
I'm excited as shit.
Shit, let's fucking roll around in some mud and have a good time.
All right. Well, it is a home game. Kyle, the coach Duggan will be there, so everybody keep an eye out for him, as well as Craig. And I'm seeing plenty of other people that are going to be roaming around this Thursday. So be sure to hit up Thunder Alley. Say hey to everybody. Take care of each other. Root for the team, root for Pipkins, guys. I know it's tough. I know it's against every, moral in your body, but come on.
He's our
We're
guy,
Charger fans.
possibly.
This is our guy. Let's root for him. Let's get a freaking win, okay?
Come on, Pipkins.
And then when the Raiders sign him next offseason, then we can root against them.
Yeah, exactly. They will. They sure as hell will.
They'll put him on the defensive side too. I'm sure Gus Bradley will find a spot for him, but all right. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat, folks. Don't forget to bolt up because we're ready for any squad, any place.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Do you ever catch yourself wondering whatever happened to drive-in movie theaters? Well, wonder no more, my friend, because this Thursday is the opening of California's newest drive-in movie theater, Pipkins Drive-In. What's that? You say you've only heard bad things. Well, tell you what, Johnny. Come on down this Thursday and try it for yourself. We guarantee you'll like it or your money back. Pipkins Drive-In. We really hope it's good.